So one of the things I think, has happened in the recent times, and I'm glad at every level that it has, is diversity and inclusion has become a sort of sought after career. And so today we will dwell on what does it really mean to be a good diversity and inclusion professional. Now, I can only share my experience on this, and I will state whatever I do basis that experience. So it is a point of view, and I want you to keep that in mind as you watch this video. So one of the things which I think is absolutely necessary is passion for the space. Without passion, this is a long term journey, and staying at it will be difficult. Therefore, look at it only if you're passionate about the space and you really, really think that you want to make a difference in the space. Do not look at this from a point of view of it's a great career opportunity only, but look at it from a passion space. So, that is an absolute no go for me. I mean, it is something that is needed. The other piece that I would say, however, is if you're practicing as a diversity and inclusion professional in any organization, the need to understand the organization, the business, whom is it catering to, who are your internal customers, who are your external customers, who are your suppliers, where can you make that difference? I mean, that's what it will help you answer. And why is the organization therefore also keen on doing something like a diversity and inclusion journey? Why is it keen on it? Why is it important for it? I think it is important to understand that. Also understanding internal processes and systems which are where you can make a difference becomes equally important. The next part of it is in terms of also having great influencing capability. And that's important because it's not always going to be the case that even the senior leadership is readily bought into the D&I journey. So how do you influence, how do you sort of influence multiple stakeholders? Because the role of a diversity and inclusion professional is really that of a consultant, is really that of an advisor. So how do you influence the talent acquisition team? How do you influence your procurement team to look at suppliers who are diverse and so on? So at multiple levels, being able to build that influencing capability becomes very important. Understanding that this is a long-term journey, and therefore understanding that there needs to be a bird's eye vision, there needs to be an ability to see the complete picture and be able to stay with it for long term. At the same time, have some level of attention to detail in terms of what are the different spaces where you can make that difference. Both of those things become very, very important. Excellent people skills in terms of approachability, because at the end of the day, if the person on the ground cannot sort of reach out to you saying, I am being discriminated, I am going through something, and you are not able to listen to them and be able to solve this issue, then things don't change at the grassroots, right? So that becomes very, very important sort of building. The last part of it is understanding of the communities that one is sort of getting into, one is trying to build diversity around in the organization. For example, how well do you understand the LGBT community? How well do you understand the disability space? And I think it is important to volunteer and build that understanding for yourself. If you really want to build a long-term career in the space. And last but not the least is some level of self-awareness. We all have biases, so to be aware of which are the spaces where you have certain biases and what are you going to be doing to be able to address and work on yourself. Because before you tell other people that they are going to be having to work on these spaces, what is your own ready level of acceptance? All of these things are important for a diversity and inclusion professional, in my mind, basis my experience. We'd love to know what your experience has been in this space and what do you see as essential qualities for a D&I professional. Do share. Thank you.